Imagine a signal traveling through the darkness for 10,000 years before reaching our world. A message encoded in radio waves crossing the infinite expanse between distant stars and our pale blue home. For decades, we have been listening to the cosmos with instruments more sensitive than any natural ear. We scan the heavens for patterns that could only come from intelligent minds like our own. The truth is that we have heard nothing but the natural symphony of collapsing stars and spinning pulsars. What if the silence itself is trying to tell us something profound about the universe we inhabit? What does it mean that after searching billions of frequencies, we remain alone in the cosmic dark? In 1960, a young scientist asked a question that would haunt humanity for generations to come. He wondered why in a galaxy containing hundreds of billions of stars, we had never detected another civilization. The mathematics suggested that intelligent life should be common, yet the evidence pointed to absolute emptiness around us. This became known as the Great Silence, and it remains one of the deepest mysteries confronting modern science. Every star you see in the night sky could harbor worlds where life took root billions of years ago. Statistical models predict that millions of planets in our galaxy alone should be capable of supporting complex organisms. Some of these worlds are older than Earth by billions of years, giving life far more time to evolve. If intelligence emerges naturally, then some civilizations should have achieved technology millions of years before we learned to make fire. They could have built structures visible across interstellar space or sent probes to every corner of the galaxy. Yet when we point our most powerful instruments toward the stars, we detect only the background hum of physics. The cosmos appears empty of voices despite having countless stages where the drama of consciousness could unfold. Perhaps the answer lies not in the stars themselves, but in the invisible barriers that separate one world from another. Space is not merely empty, but actively hostile to the fragile complexity required for life to persist and grow. Radiation from dying stars sterilizes entire regions, while gamma-ray bursts can extinguish ecosystems across light years. The distances between stars are so vast that even traveling at incredible speeds would require thousands of human lifetimes. A civilization attempting to cross these gulfs would need resources and determination beyond anything we can currently imagine. Maybe the silence tells us that intelligence is far more rare and precious than our equations ever suggested. Consider that life on Earth required 4 billion years of evolution and countless fortunate accidents to produce beings who ask questions. The path from simple chemistry to self-aware minds might be filled with bottlenecks that most worlds never pass through. Perhaps the emergence of complex cells or the development of technology represents an almost impossible series of cosmic coincidences. This possibility suggests that we might be among the first intelligent species to ever gaze outward and wonder about our place. The responsibility of such a realization would be staggering because it would mean the future of consciousness rests with us. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if someone else was looking back at you? Our search for extraterrestrial intelligence began in earnest when we developed radio technology capable of spanning the solar system. Scientists realized that the same electromagnetic waves carrying our broadcasts could also carry messages from distant civilizations across space. They pointed massive dish antennas toward nearby stars and listened for patterns that natural processes could never accidentally create. The signals we search for would need to stand out from the cosmic static like a lighthouse beam cutting through fog. We look for narrow frequency bands or repeating sequences that indicate deliberate construction rather than random chance occurrence. Modern computers can process millions of channels simultaneously, searching for the mathematical fingerprints of intelligent design in radio noise. Every day our instruments sweep across new regions of sky hoping to catch that first whisper from beyond our world. The search requires patience because space is incomprehensibly large and our instruments can only examine tiny fractions at once. We have explored less than 1/1,000,000th of the possible combinations of directions, frequencies, and times where signals might appear. Finding another civilization would be like locating a single specific grain of sand on all the beaches of Earth combined. Yet we continue listening because the implications of success would transform everything we understand about existence and meaning itself. In recent years, our ability to detect distant worlds has undergone a revolution that earlier generations could barely imagine. We have discovered thousands of planets orbiting other stars, including many that exist in the habitable zone where liquid water can persist. Some of these worlds are rocky like Earth with atmospheres that could potentially support the chemistry of life as we know it. Advanced instruments can now analyze the light filtering through alien atmospheres, searching for chemical signatures that indicate biological processes at work. We look for oxygen, methane, and other gases that accumulate when living organisms transform their environment over geological timescales. The James Webb Space Telescope peers into the infrared spectrum, revealing details about distant worlds that were invisible to previous instruments. Each new discovery adds another data point to our understanding of how common potentially habitable environments might be throughout the cosmos. We have learned that planets are not rare exceptions, but rather the natural byproduct of star formation happening everywhere constantly. The universe appears to be filled with stages where the drama of life could potentially unfold under alien suns. How do you think humanity would change if we discovered even microbial life on another world out there? The chemicals necessary for life as we understand it appear to be distributed throughout the galaxy in vast molecular clouds. We have detected organic compounds including amino acids in meteorites that fell to Earth from the depths of space itself. These building blocks form naturally wherever conditions allow, suggesting that the raw materials for life are cosmically abundant and widespread. The same physical laws that govern chemistry on Earth operate identically across billions of light-years of space and time. This universality means that if life emerged here through natural processes, then similar chemistry should occur on countless other worlds. Yet chemistry alone does not guarantee that simple molecules will organize themselves into the staggering complexity of living cells. The leap from organic compounds to self-replicating systems capable of evolution remains one of science's most profound, unsolved mysteries. We do not fully understand how non-living matter first crossed that threshold into something that could grow, adapt, and reproduce. Perhaps this transition is so improbable that it happens only once in a trillion worlds across cosmic time. Or perhaps life emerges readily wherever conditions permit, but intelligence and technology represent far rarer evolutionary outcomes than we assume. The history of life on Earth shows that simple organisms dominated for billions of years before complex creatures finally appeared. Intelligence might be an evolutionary accident rather than an inevitable destination that natural selection always eventually reaches given enough time. Our own existence could represent an extraordinarily unlikely combination of circumstances that rarely, if ever, repeats elsewhere in space. If this is true, then the responsibility we bear for preserving consciousness becomes almost unbearably heavy and profound. There is another possibility that scientists discuss in hushed tones during late-night conversations at research conferences around the world. Perhaps intelligent civilizations do arise commonly, but they inevitably destroy themselves before achieving the ability to communicate across interstellar distances. Technology powerful enough to reach the stars might also be powerful enough to cause extinction through weapons, environmental collapse, or artificial intelligence. The same curiosity and ambition that drives exploration could also drive species toward catastrophic mistakes they cannot recover from in time. We call this concept the Great Filter, and it suggests a universal barrier that prevents civilizations from becoming truly spacefaring and enduring. The terrifying question is whether this filter lies behind us in our evolutionary past or ahead of us in our uncertain future. If it lies ahead, then our silence from the stars might be a warning about dangers we have not yet encountered or understood. Every civilization that came before us might have reached a critical point where they made choices that determined whether they would survive or vanish. We might be approaching that same crossroads right now as we develop technologies whose consequences we cannot fully predict or control safely. What do you believe is the meaning of the great silence we hear when we listen to the stars above? Some scientists propose that advanced civilizations might deliberately avoid announcing their presence to the cosmos for reasons we cannot yet comprehend. They might have learned through bitter experience that broadcasting your location to unknown listeners carries risks that outweigh potential benefits of contact. Perhaps the universe operates under a principle of cosmic caution, where wise civilizations remain hidden until they understand who else is listening. Or maybe intelligence naturally evolves beyond the need for radio communication, developing methods of interaction we cannot detect with current technology. Advanced beings might communicate through quantum entanglement, gravitational waves, or dimensions of reality we have not yet discovered or learned to perceive. We could be like ancient humans trying to intercept satellite transmissions using smoke signals and wondering why nobody responds to our messages. The tools we use to search might be fundamentally inadequate for detecting civilizations that have progressed beyond our current level of understanding. Yet we search with the instruments we have because the alternative of not searching means accepting ignorance about the most profound question ever asked. Each night, our antennas sweep across new regions of sky, adding to the cosmic haystack we have already examined without finding needles. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is not just about finding others, but about understanding ourselves and our place in the grand scheme. It forces us to confront questions about what makes life special and whether consciousness has meaning beyond our own small world. The act of searching itself represents hope that we are not alone in bearing witness to the beauty and mystery of existence. Whether we ever detect a signal or not, the search changes us by making us think deeply about our cosmic context and future. We are a young species taking our first tentative steps toward understanding a universe that has existed for almost 14 billion years. Our technology has only recently become sophisticated enough to even attempt listening for messages from the stars above our heads. In cosmic terms, we have been searching for mere seconds, and drawing conclusions from that brief moment would be premature and foolish. Perhaps the universe is filled with civilizations, but we have simply not been listening long enough or looking in the right places yet. The search for life beyond Earth is ultimately a search for meaning in a universe that often seems indifferent to our existence. It asks whether the spark of consciousness that arose on this small world has been kindled elsewhere in the infinite dark between stars. Every telescope pointed skyward, every antenna listening to cosmic static, represents humanity reaching out with hope and curiosity into the unknown void. We may be alone, or we may be one voice in a galactic chorus, but either answer would fundamentally transform our understanding forever. The silence we hear might be temporary, or it might be eternal, but we will continue listening because the question demands an answer. What thoughts fill your mind when you consider that we might be the universe's only way of knowing itself right now? The search continues because somewhere in the darkness between the stars, an answer to humanity's oldest question might be waiting patiently. Until that moment arrives, we listen to the void, hoping that someday, somewhere, the echoes will finally carry voices back to us.